Good to see you guys, welcome back. Yes.
I was really excited to get back, and it was a short spurt, wasn't going to go for months, and really keen to get back and to do some fighting.
And everyone had stayed in training. No one had kind of let it go. Everyone knew that we were going to have to come back and be really fit for these pickups.
That was the real balls to the wall, hard yard stuff.
I felt like when Thorin was in fight mode that I really became the character, and I was kind of waiting for him to emerge onto the battlefield. But like the character, I was forced to wait for that moment.
Will you follow me? One last time.
Okay, nice, and get yourself stable. And you go, and action.
One of the last hand props that we were asked to build was the Horn of Erebor.
I want to herald the arrival of Thorin and the Dwarves by having Bomber step up onto the parapet and blow an enormous big dwarf horn.
It was realised it was needed very, very late in the piece, so we actually had to deliver it in a matter of a few days.
Peter just wanted some giant, crazy-looking horn thing, but yeah. We explored some different ideas, like if it's made out of metal and like it's an animal horn, which I think it ended up being, some giant behemoth creature.
The scale of maybe the beasts of burden that towed Grond up to the front gates of Minas Tirith. Mona and I have been carving the horn. So Bomber blows in there. What sort of noise do you think it makes?
Oh,
yeah, that amplified 1,000 times. So in the next 3 minutes, it goes off for fiberglassing, and Mona and I will put a layer of epoxy resin onto it. We finished it maybe an hour before it was needed on set. Normally we would make extremely light copies, meaning that something as big as that, it was almost the size of a mini car, you would be able to pick up with a single hand.
It's bloody awkward, is what it is.
Very sadly for Stephen, that was not to be the case.
And unfortunately, they didn't have time to make a lightweight version, so this was fiberglass. So it was quite heavy.
It was bloody heavy.
I reckon I'll get this on my hand luggage on the way home. What do you reckon?
This thing is huge. We quickly set up some wires to help support this massive horn.
I decided I was actually going to try and hold most of the weight myself. Even though I was a bit heavier on my hands, it gave me control of where my centre of gravity was.
Hey, Stephen, how are you, sir?
Good, mate.
It was a special day. I got a great close-up, and it was quite an emotional scene, and Peter came up to me and said, look, do you need some tear things? And I said, no, I got this. I'll use my acting.
We are rolling, so when you're ready, Stephen. Just blow some long emotional notes. Long emotional notes. Okay, good. Thank you. Got that script. Hey, well done, Steve. Good.
I loved it. It made for a great moment, and in the film it was such a heroic moment.
The intention at one stage was to create this armour, and that's what they would go into battle with at the end. We just thought that they should, within Erebor, they should adopt a much more regal attitude. I mean, Thorin's the king, but the others are knights, essentially, like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. They're all his warrior knights. So we wanted to create that imagery.
The regal armour is an outstanding work of art. Fearsome and beautiful, just beautiful. Richard Taylor and his genius crew from Weta came along with the armour, and boy, it looked good.
Your first impression when you see it is, that's an amazing work of art, really, that I get to wear. And then you put it on, you're like, I can't actually do anything.
Oh, it's just so comfortable. Wow, it's like pajamas.
I can't wait to move around and see, is it a kind of fight in this? Because it doesn't look, you know what I mean?
It was sort of difficult to move around with the cloak and everything, but I loved it so much. I remember a lot of people saying, well, we can lose it at this point if it makes it difficult to move. And I remember being adamant, no, I really want to wear this for as long as possible.
Clearly, we made the mistake of showing that we could cope with the heavy costume in film 1. So that was almost like a gauntlet being thrown down to the costume department. After each fitting, they must have gone, I just had a fitting with Graham McTavish, and at the end of it, he was walking. Get back to the drawing board. I want to see that man crushed. So they decided to give Dwarf a light utility vehicle to wear.
If I fell over in this, that would be it. The rest of the dwarves would just be standing laughing at me.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I've disabled the cameraman. But,
Where someone like Stephen Hunter was kind of encased inside a tank.
Bomber's armour it's like a small boat, actually, that kind of goes around him.
Splendid. Thank you. I feel sexy. You know, it wasn't real armour, it was lightweight. But it wasn't lightweight.
Wait a bit, didn't it?
And the only way to rest when you're offset was to lie down in it on a mat. And I just and fall to sleep in it.
And of course, this was originally the armour that we were going to do the battle in.
I couldn't have fought in it. I couldn't have fought in it.
Whoa, no, you've got a lot. Doesn't look restricted at all, does it? That's it.
You couldn't actually lift a weapon, be like trying to fight. Couldn't lift your arms above your head. No, I can't.
And it quickly became apparent that this was not going to be practical.
It was a great day on set when the decision came that the dwarves were going to shed their armour.
I understood that we needed to see our dwarves that we'd followed for the entire journey, and burying them in armour, where you really only see this part of them, was a little bit unsatisfying.
They knew that what they were going into when they left Erebor to join the battle was essentially a suicide mission. And so why do they need to wear all this protection? It's just going to slow them down.
You know, you're going to go to your deaths, really. I mean, you want to. You'd rather go to your deaths than help your fellow dwarves and sit here like cowards.
If you decide to do this, understand, you may not return.
They just get rid of defense. They cast it aside so that they're light and they're able to move quickly and do what they need to do.
They're going to throw off all this sort of pomp and ceremony, I suppose, and just make it more raw and gritty.
Get rid of that armour. Let's get down and dirty.
When we were told about this casting off the armour for battle, from a design point of view, I worked closely with Bob Buck to create a stripped-back version, so they took off all the heavy components. The garments you see them wearing is actually what they're wearing underneath all the plate armour.
That's the stripped-down version is what they run out in, because that was a more practical way in which these guys could actually fight.
It's really light, and I can fight in it, I think. So, yeah, it's a nice way to die in this.
Peter's rationale, and ultimately a very, very good one, is the dwarves going into war, their chests bared.
Lead on.
And there's something extraordinarily beautiful in that, and there's something very powerful in it.
You've got rid of all your armour. Richard Taylor's in tears over in the corner.
Yep. Maybe he's wearing all the armour.
Well, he's wearing all of it. He's just put it all on.
You look at a still photo of those guys wearing that armour, and it's absolutely superb. It's as good as you could ever hope it to be. I mean, it was the greatest suits of armour ever made for a motion picture. It's not untrue.
But Pete has to make those hard decisions, because if it doesn't work for the story, then it doesn't work at all, and that's why these things get cut away, and the film's better for it.
I remember the day when we shot the scene where the dwarves emerge from the mountain.
We were very aware that this was a very iconic moment. Finally, the dwarves are going out there and delivering the first blows of the fight.
Pete had laid down this enormous kind of mud track in a soundstage. I remember kind of glancing over at Graham McTavish and Jed and all the other lads, and it was such a good feeling.
Richard said, I know that you've been waiting to do this scene for 2 years, and here we are. Let's get it done.
They were ready to run as well. They'd all been waiting for a moment like this where they could finally show some heroicism.
This is the moment we've been building up to. The 3 months that we did on boot camp, the training we did all the way through it, the fight training, the physical training with the stunt guys, all of that was focused in that one moment.
We've waited 2.5 years for this charge.
We have.
And I've just told Peter to close the dock doors because some of us are worried that we might just keep running and never come back.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. There was goosebumps. Hairs on the back of my head were standing up.
This is probably the most exciting day I've had in a long, long time. It's going to be awesome.
Here we go. Okay, guys, you're going to war. Let's hear the dwarf battle cry. Come on, wind yourselves up.
We'd all start doing the dwarf chant and pumping each other up.
It's a bit like doing the haka before a rugby game. That's what it felt like.
Here you go. 3, 2, 1, action.
Give me a sword and the shield.
Yeah, we lifted the roof off with our yell that morning. It was fantastic.
The thing you have to remember about film is it's forever. Once you've committed that to celluloid, that will last longer than you live. And you want to make sure that when it comes to the moment that it's being recorded, that you are giving every ounce of your energy and concentration into that moment. And that was a moment where we did that.
Great.
You know, the scene that we've been waiting 2 years to shoot. I think that was my stunt double. I can do it now if you like. If I charge at the camera. Ah!
When we leave Erebor and the wedge hits the orcs for the first time, we choreographed with all the fight guys and the stunt doubles a very intricate sequence.
It went from V formation to a crisscross formation, and so to show that these guys knew each other so well, that they were a tactical fighting team.
It was a dance.
There's a rhythm to the way that the dwarves fight as a team.
Look, they're having a go at Philly and Killy. Oh, I bet that hurt.
Philly.
Oh, look, there's Dwalin. Watch out! Oh, too late.
Maybe we should do some fighting.
Oh, come on in.
Marky Lee was Bumper's stuntman there, and he jumped in the air and double kicked a guy in the chest.
I'm kind of just breathing out as he lands on me. I feel like one of those cartoons that just flattens, and you got to pump me up.
Yeah, well, I think that sort of qualifies as a war crime.
It's all part of the job.
So, you know, we're doing our serious fight. This is the pinnacle of our boot camp training, and it's a very serious matter. And then the stunt guys come in, dressed like big cartoon characters from a theme park ride.
They looked hilarious, actually. The stunt team had helmets on with tall snorkels on the top.
Noodle high five.
High five?
Snorkels.
We put these noodles on their heads because that's the actual height of the orcs, because, of course, our guys are dwarves. And so, in relation to our dwarves, the orcs are going to be 7.5 foot tall.
That was to keep our eye lines up, because you want to look naturally at someone's eyes when you're doing the fight, but actually you had to raise it up.
Get ready, boys.
Come on. Gonna fuck you up. Green is so last season. Get out of the way.
We are cutting a sway through, you bastards.
I'm sorry, just too powerful.
See you maybe a bit later during the week. We don't know. We'll know on Thursday.
Kiss me. Love you. Love you too.
Actually, there was a note on the call sheet yesterday which said, caution, any dwarf may be called at any time for anything. So we're in this sort of last stage of just ticking off all these little moments.
Big day today. This is it. Biggest day in Biffa's life.
We should have a prize for whoever comes up the best thing. We've got to come up with a great way for Biffa to lose the axe in his head.
Okay.
The prize for this challenge that he issued was a frozen chicken for some reason.
Not a very good prize.
Not if you're vegetarian, no.
And we all ran back to our desks and to our workshops and just started spinning ideas and trying to come up with that moment that might live in the film.
This is a quest for the prize.
That was our list.
Everybody's trying to win the frozen chicken.
I think eventually Peter must have won his own prize because he came up with the idea of the headbutt.
Their heads kind of just collapse. And it's like a moment. A moment. Oh, tug of war. Who's going to win? You know. We'll keep the chicken in the freezer just for that.
It was just amazing to get to the set one morning, and he had come up with this brilliant scenario.
Biffa does a headbutt right into the bloody orc. So now you've embedded your thing into the orc's head.
Excellent.
So it should be like a rugby scrum. And you back the guy over a cliff. And then Biffa and Bofa end up on their backs on the top there. And there is going to be a line of dialogue for you.
The big question was not actually the physical sequence of the fighting. It was like, what am I going to say?
We're waiting for his line, but I'm hoping he's going to either come out normal or even worse than he was before. It'll be one or the other.
I didn't know I was speaking until lunchtime. So I had to sort of, okay, got to get back into my accent again, because I didn't use it for a year and a half.
Today is the day where they both actually get to speak in English for the one and only time in the movie.
You know where you can stick that.
Yeah.
You know where you can stick that.
It's pretty exciting to actually hear them speak.
You know where you can stick that. 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 You know where you can stick that.
We had to give William Kircher some moment alone because he was so excited about his sequence.
You know where you can stick that. You know where you can stick that.
William was on a different plane on that day, I think.
You know where you can stick that.
You know where you can stick that.
Well, you've got one line in the whole trilogy. You're going to, you want to make it count.
Look, let's face it, my character has an axe in his head. I've carried that through the whole films. And to be able to say a line after so long of speaking in Dwarvish and not saying a lot, it was a very, very exciting day for me.
What? By Duran, you've lost your axe.
No, he's not. There you go, cousin.
And that's the first time that Bomber speaks. And the only time that Bomber speaks.
Dickie Leaf.
And he did it beautifully.
She stood by me weeks and weeks and weeks.
2.5 years ago, remember?
2.5 years ago, weeks and weeks of...
Irish?
I'm basically trying to sound like Jimmy Nesbitt.
All worth it.
All worth it in
All
the
worth
end.
it. Good on you.
And we'll ADR it next year.
The chariot sequence is just a gag-filled chase sequence, really, that does fulfill the purpose of getting them up to Ravenhill, but it does it in a very long and elaborate kind of way, which is really just a bit of indulgence. It is very indulgent, I have to admit, as a filmmaker, but doesn't mean it's not fun.
In the final days of the film, in the workshop, we thought we had run our course. We naturally thought that this was going to be CG, and we were lamenting the fact that we were having to wrap up everything and there wasn't anything left to do. And then we got the phone call. Zane Wiener gave us a call and said, "Hey guys, do you think you could build the chariot for us?" And it was the last thing we were asked to do. You know, this is a kid's dream come true, building a chariot for dwarves that has weapons on it. It's hard to imagine that anyone on our crew didn't get involved because it was such an exciting thing to make. The fact that our swan song in the 2 trilogies of Middle-earth would be being offered the opportunity to build something physical and pretty epic was really special to us.
We're 8 days in, we've got about another 3 or 4 days up our sleeves.
Oh, my God. I mean, I've been amazed by a lot of things at that place, but that just blew my head off.
Wow. You must have such fun.
Oh, this is great. This is fantastic. This is like a dream job. It's like building a dwarven hot rod. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Hold tight, lads! So here we are on the set of Top Gear Middle-earth. So far, we've taken a Fiat Punto and we've done some minor adaptations. Obviously, we've put on some new wheels, extensive chassis modification, and also mounted a front cannon. We're really hoping that we're going to get from Wellington to Dargaville in record time.
Nothing to worry about. Go back to your homes.
When I found out that I would be at the front on this massive crossbow, shooting at trolls and wargs, I couldn't wait to do it.
Oh, yeah! The joy was palpable. I guess he was supposed to be looking angry, but he was just like... For him, it was like, I get to do this. And I know that Graham will buy that chariot toy. As soon as it comes out, Graham's going to buy it. You know, when his wife and kids go to sleep, he's going to get it out and be like... Pew, pew, pew. I just know he is. He loves that stuff so much.
Sharpening. Focus on the orcs ahead, everybody. Orcs ahead.
Peter's direction from behind the monitor that day was especially funny.
Barn and blaze!
Blast, yeah, they're chopping up. And now you're chopping their heads off. Chop. There's a troll behind you.
Coming down, smashing ice.
It's, his enthusiasm rubs off, you know. That was good fun.
Well, we got a script delivery from Philippa and Fran.
Hot off the press.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh. Peter dutifully came out, read it out. Graham, you're shouting out, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it.
And Kelly says, where? This is Philippa and Fran. And you just yell, aim for its jam bags.
Oh my God. Yes, please, God. Aim at his jam bags.
And then you're up there aiming us, and you yell back, it doesn't have any jam bags.
Oh my God. Well, I think we should run those lines a couple of times just to get it out the way.
Action.
Come on, shoot it! Where? In his jam bags! It doesn't have any jam bags!
Okay, let's go.
Lunchtime. Going to lunch, I go over to Philippa, who's having lunch, sit down, and the first thing I say is, fantastic. Love that line. Oh, which line's that, darling? The jam bags. Aim at his jam bags. Genius. And she said, jam bags?
It's yam bags.
Wow. Great.
Fran and I were trying to come up with a euphemism for a certain part of what we would imagine would be a normal anatomy on any male species. We found an old archaic term, which we thought was hilarious, called yam bags.
And I went back and told Peter, and I've seen him laugh a lot, but that's one of the moments I saw him laugh the most. He could not stop laughing. He thought this was fantastic. I think jam bags are better. Much more descriptive. You know what you're talking about with jam bags.
It doesn't have any jam bags! Kelly!
And action.
Yeah, there was an awful lot of swords in hand and a lot of fighting. I, of course, have a stunt Bilbo, Brett. He helped me on the sword fighting, fitness, all that stuff.
Working with Martin actually has been amazing. He was so good at remembering choreography and did all the fight work, and a lot of gags actually he did himself.
Brett is very, very positive, and I found him great to work with. He's kind of had backgrounds in other things, like in Thai boxing and stuff like that. So not only could he f*** you up, but he's still a really nice bloke. I mean, he's very un-warrior-like in that way. He's not like a tough guy, but he's a very tough guy. Yeah, I really liked him very much. Yeah, he was always very just up for it.
Flogging, getting a lesson.
If I see a table tennis table anywhere, I want to play on it. It's like crack. If I see it and there's a table, I have to play. And it was a good little workout.
Horse! 17:20. Come on, come on. Famous table it.
My makeup artist, Georgia, she didn't like me playing because, of course, within 10 minutes I'd be schwitzing like buggery, and it would be undoing all of her work, and bits of prosthetic ears would be coming off because the sweat had be taking the glue off, etc. And I would, like a schoolboy, look around, see if Georgia, because I'm quite scared of Georgia. And I'd look around and just sort of see the coast is clear, and I'd go and play. I'm not bad, and I'm determined.
Whoa, it's a lovely shot then.
He refused to be beaten.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I mean, is there nothing he can't do? Oh, it makes you sick, doesn't it?
It's great how you let him win.
I know, it's very important that we do that.
It's called the Hobbit.
I was told that before.
They do that on purpose.
It's called the Hobbit. He should win.
And action. I remember filming the acorn scene very well. That was my last scene. That was my last day.
Action. What is that? In your hand.
That's fantastic, Martin. Now, if you could just pretend that you've got your little winky in your hand, we could call it a wrap.
It's like This Is Your Life. Oh, I know who that is. It's it's the guy who plays Smaug. What's his name? Oh, he's fantastic.
Hello.
I always like jobs ending. I always love it when a job ends, even when I've loved the job, especially when I've loved the job. I want it to end. I want it to be over before it goes bad. Do you know what I mean? Like before it has a reason for me to not like it.
I think we're good.
And that is a wrap on Martin Freeman as the Hobbit. Thank you so much. That was just such a wonderful experience.
Thank you so much. Me too.
Thank you very much, folks. Thank you so much.
I'm tempted to say thank you and goodbye, but as we all know, it may be au revoir, but in case it is goodbye, thank you so much. It's been an amazing 2.5 years. And yeah, I couldn't put into words briefly enough what it's meant to me, but rest assured it's meant an awful lot. So thank you very much. Thank you.
You're a good man.
It's been our pleasure having you.
Thank you. They like giving presents, that lot. They're big, soppy people, really, and I like that about them. That's beautiful. He's made me slightly better looking. I'm a very unsentimental person, really, when it comes to work. And this wasn't really hitting me much, like the magnitude of, it's my last day on it, it wasn't really hitting me. Until Graham McTavish, who plays Dwarf, came over and said, "It's been really nice, man." His voice started to break, and I was like, "Oh, crap, I'm going to go." And it came out of nowhere. It was really strange. And then it does suddenly hit you that, wow, yeah, I came here 2.5 years ago with these people, and we've gone through a real thing together,
See you, mate.
Such an honour, man, Roger. And what you have a hoodie for all your hitting the deck. But you basically did it all and came out unscathed. No, it's been an honour, mate. It really has.
And a wave. Thank you.